Welcome back. Russia said today it plans to send a second oil tanker to Cuba. Earlier this week, the United States allowed the first shipment of oil from Russia to pass through its blockade, in part as a humanitarian gesture to address a very deep and deepening energy crisis in Cuba. I want to bring in Florida Republican Congresswoman Elvira Salazar. How comfortable or uncomfortable are you, Congresswoman, with this decision on a case-by-case basis? That's the administration's phraseology, to allow Russian oil, not Venezuelan, not Mexican, but Russian oil into Cuba.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's uncomfortable, but I understand it. You know, it's just a little Band-Aid to a very big wound that was created over 65 years of communism on that island. So one shipment is not really going to solve anything. It's just going to buy 5 or 6 more days. Remember that the whole electric grid collapsed because it hasn't been taken care of for decades. And the Trump administration is correct. It's time for regime change. There we need regime change. And it's part of the America First agenda. If you want to, we can discuss that. But the regime that is in place right now needs to go because they broke it. They cannot fix it.
There are opportunities, though, to take oil from Mexico or our new partner, as the president describes it, Venezuela. Russia is quite clearly an adversary of ours right now, but they profit from this. Why Russia?
Well, maybe because Russia wanted to. I really don't want to speculate, but remember that Russia had a very long relationship with the Castro regime for many years. I am sure that Vladimir Putin is not going to put his relationship with Donald Trump on any type of situation where it will be antagonistic towards the president or the White House. I'm sure the White House said, okay, like I said, one shipment is really not going to solve anything while we finish with the situation and the conflict we have with Iran. But President Trump had said it many times and clearly, and for my constituents and my community, that is music to our ears, that Cuba is next. Because Cuba is only 90 miles away from Miami, the district that I represent. And we do need regime change there so we can have a whole Western hemisphere free of the socialist and the Marxist and the communist influences. That's America First agenda for sure.
Delcy Rodriguez, the administration announced yesterday sanctions will be lifted against her. She now runs Venezuela. Are you comfortable with that? And I know you want and you've appealed to the president to address temporary protected status for Venezuelans in your district.
Yeah.
Address both of those.
Yeah, that's correct. And, you know, I'm one of the leaders on immigration. No, I'm not comfortable because Delcy is part of the thieves and the people who destroyed Venezuela. Is just that this is a new blueprint that the president is putting together, which we have never seen, but it's working, where we are sort of telling the bad guys, including Delcy, you are going to prepare the runway and you're going to prepare all the conditions so the good guys, the opposition leaders, the people who are pro-democracy, pro-free market economy, be able to land and then create free and fair elections with international observers and have the Venezuelans rule themselves. Delcy Rodriguez is just a short-term solution to a problem that could be bigger because although we do not want a civil war in Venezuela, we want to be able to access the largest reserves of oil in the world that they own. So she is a thief. But we're going to give it a little bit more time for her to behave and to conduct business the way that is convenient for the Americans.
And
until we have elections.
And temporary protected status for Venezuelans in your district. Some of them face deportation.
Yes.
You want them to be able to stay.
Yes, I do, because they came in legally. The United States government gave them sort of a pass for them to stay until the conditions are ripe. And until they can go back and be able to work and have democracy and free, fair elections. The rule of law is not going to be able to be part of the whole Venezuelan scenario if we don't have elections. And for these people, millions of Venezuelans, many of them live in my district, to be able to go back and have a job and be prosperous individuals of that society, they need to have a rule of law. They need to have clear rules of the game, and that's not happening right now. But it's true, and we have to go back to what Marco Rubio said. This is first stabilize, recovery, and transition. and we're recovering. So let's see when transition happens. And for me, transition is transitioning back to democracy.
And in the meantime, don't deport Venezuelans in your district.
Correct. And I have said it clearly many times to the Trump administration. I'm a proud Republican, but I have told them many times, and I've come to your show to say to the Trump administration and to my colleagues in the House of Representatives that we need to do immigration in another fashion. And that's why I wrote the dignity bill, and that's what I've been saying. Let them stay for a little while, the Haitians and the Venezuelans and some of the Cubans, because they're going to be able to go back home soon, but not right now. So yes, I'm defending my district within,
Congresswoman,
within
Republican
the
Maria
immigration
Salazar.
space.
Thank you, as always, for being on the program. I appreciate it.
Wonderful to be with you. Thank you.